Good morning. I pray that you had a wonderful weekend. A weekend where you had opportunity to smile, to maybe social distance, visit with some people. Maybe you were able to take advantage of some good weather. You were able to ride a bike or rollerblade or jog or simply walk or do something to move your body. Even if it was just walking in place in your house or up and down the steps, our bodies need to move. But more importantly, when we move our bodies, it generates endorphins and it makes us feel better. So I pray you were able to do that this weekend. Today we've been talking about change, but today I want to just check in with you. I want to check in with you because I know that change is difficult for most people. And I have been inviting you to identify something in your life, some habit, some situation, something in your life that you probably need to change, or it might be helpful if you made an adjustment or change because it's not giving you the benefits that you need. It may not be helping you to be your best self. And I've noticed, or I believe, that people are struggling with that. Some people have said they want to change their relationship with money, or they want to look at the relationship they're in, but there hasn't been a whole lot of comments around this issue of change. So I just want to check in with you. On Friday, we were actually going into the action step of doing the change. If you did it, how did you do? I'm going to share with you what I had decided to work on during this time period. And since we've been social distancing, myself, like a lot of people, as I scan through my social media sites, I've been buying a whole lot of stuff or buying more things than I normally would buy. And some of the things are things that probably could be useful in my home, but some of them are just really impulse buys. And so I made the decision. Then when I buy it and it gets here, I realize I don't like it or it doesn't have the same attraction. It really was an impulse buy. So I wanted to focus on changing my relationship with just buying things because I happen to see it on social media as I'm scrolling through. And so as things would happen, almost as soon as I made that decision, I went on social media and I saw something and I was like, I could use that. That seems like a good idea. And then I had a long conversation with myself saying, but you could actually really use this thing. It could really be helpful. Well, to make a long story short, I didn't buy it because I said I'm trying to change my relationship. So I think I've added the caveat, if I still want it, after a period of time, maybe a couple of weeks or 7 days or whatever, some period of time, then I will go and do it as opposed to impulsively buying things. And it's been a bit difficult, but I want to share with you, I am determined because I'm just collecting stuff and I don't want to turn into a hoarder. It hasn't gotten that bad, but I'm just making purchases that just because, probably because I'm bored, probably because it's just impulsive. So the second part of my check-in with you is I want to know, someone has suggested a topic and asked me would I talk about it. And so I want to ask you, what would you like for me to talk about? What are you struggling with? What topic would you resonate with? The topics I've done thus far that seem to have gotten the most comments and the most views is the whole series I did on looking at the glass half empty, half full, which led us into a discussion of optimistic versus pessimistic ways of looking at things, and took us right into the topic of, which was a big topic, was identifying narcissistic tendencies and behaviors and how to things you can do if you choose to be in relationships. So I know relationships are a big deal, but I want to hear from you. What would you like? What topic would you like to have discussed? And it may be a topic that is, you may decide, well, if I put it in comments, people may see it and we don't want people in our business, you can message me. You can message me and just let me know, or you can send me an email. What topic? Now, I'm not talking about send me a description of your personal situation and then I'll come on camera and tell you how to work it out. I'm talking about broader topics, okay? I don't know if any of you remember Dear Abby, where people would write in and ask her advice. That's not necessarily what I'm doing. What I'm trying to do is the overall goal of this page is for healing and restoration, particularly if you have survived a trauma. And I kind of shifted a little bit and really tried to focus on healing in coping, as we have been doing months of social distancing. And as it's become summertime, a lot of us are getting antsy. We want to get back out and do those things that the summertime says we should do. We want to go to the cookouts. We want to go to the outdoor festivals. We want to do those things. But that nasty Miss Rona just won't go away. She just keeps showing, as they would say, she just keeps showing her behind. And so she's like lurking around every corner. And that can create a great deal of anxiety for us. It can create a great deal of depression. It can have us challenged in our moods and how we deal with each other, how we feel about ourselves. Some folk are packing on extra pounds because they've been doing impulsive eating. Some people's relationships are really taking a toll on them because you haven't spent this much time with that person in your life. And for some people, the opposite. You're finding as you spend more time with your significant other, your spouse, your partner, that you're really learning about each other and you're beginning to grow. So I want to hear from you. What topics would you like for me to kind of talk about? Now, I have never purported to be an expert on everything. There are topics that I do better with. Specifically, probably my best topic is I was initially trained as a family therapist, and I kind of moved into early childhood trauma. I talk about combat trauma. I do a lot of work around grief and loss. Those are probably my big things, and chronic mental illness. Those are probably my areas. And then I do also talk about the intersection between spirituality and faith and how we live our lives. How do we walk that through? How do we walk out the tenets of whatever it is that we believe in, even as we deal with people in this world? So let me know what you would like me to talk about, and I will peruse your list, and that will give us some topics to begin to explore. My prayer for you today is that you have a wonderful day. I've been working on getting up and walking at 6:30 in the morning, which is early for me because it's getting hotter. And my normal walking time was like 9 or 10, and I was exhausted because of the heat. So 6:30, it is a lot cooler and it's much more enjoyable, but I have to work on waking up. So I asked you to keep me encouraged. I am working on it, and I invite you to, again, think about what topics will help you to be the best person you can be. Love you all. And I always say, do this on purpose. So let me do it this way. I love you all on purpose and with intention. Why? Simply because you are you. You are human just like I am. And that's the only qualifier that I need. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.